Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our ordinary council meeting for tonight, the 19th of January 2026, our first for the new year here at the Kalgoorlie Town Hall, opening tonight's meeting at 6 p.m. And on behalf of the City of Kalgoorlie-Boulder, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners on the land in which we meet tonight. I'd also like to pay my respects to elders past and present. Tonight we have Bishop Ben, who joins us from the Anglican Church to lead us in prayer. If I could please get you to stand for tonight's prayer.
Let us pray together. Oh God, we come before you with the gratitude, with the thanks for your being a God of love who is with us now in this very room. You never leave us or forsake us. Your grace has brought us thus far, and your grace will lead us home, Lord. We thank you for making each of us in this room, every person we meet, every citizen of this city, and every city in your own image, with a dignity and infinite worth. We thank you for calling you. You have been, every one of us, to be good stewards of your creation, to love our neighbors as ourselves. We thank you tonight for these servants, our city mayor, city staff, and all city council members. I give thanks for the way the service they have chosen to take upon on behalf of the old people. We all come to this room tonight with the complex human beings, carrying burdens, carrying joy and hopes, trusting that you alone can hold us together, O God. We pray for wisdom and a strength, for courage to do what is right and what is good for all citizens. May we put our interest of others above our own. May we act with the love for the common good. May we be good neighbors, recognizing your image in every person here. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Bishop.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good to see you.
God bless you.
Thank you to Bishop Ben for tonight's prayer. I'll now read the disclaimer, as there are one person in the audience this evening, or in the chamber. Please note this meeting is being recorded and streamed live on Council's website in accordance with the City's public participation in Council meeting policy, which can be viewed on Council's website. All reasonable care is taken to maintain your privacy. However, as a visitor in the public gallery, your presence may be recorded, and by remaining in the public gallery, it is assumed your consent is given if your image is broadcast. The recommendations contained in this agenda are officers' recommendations only and should not be acted upon until Council has resolved to adopt those recommendations. The resolutions of Council should be confirmed by perusing the minutes of the Council meeting which these recommendations were considered. Members of the public should also note that they act at their own risk if they enact any resolution prior to receiving official written notification of Council's decision. In attendance tonight, we have the Deputy Mayor who's here tonight. Deputy Mayor Winner, good evening to you. Good evening, Councillor Bodica. Good evening, Councillor Della. Hello to Councillor Viskovich. Hello to Councillor House. Good evening to Councillor Walker-Dunstan. And to our Acting CEO tonight, Francis Liston, good evening to you. Director of Advocacy and Strategy, Mia Hicks, is here tonight. Good evening to you. Also, Cass Yeager is here tonight. Sorry, Cass, I've missed your title again, as the City Director of Corporate Governance. The Director of City and Community is Adam Streeling here tonight, and Director of Engineering is Louis Camporelli. We're also joined by assisting staff from Marketing and also Governance. Councillors, we have Councillor O'Donnell, who is present on the phone. Councillor O'Donnell, greetings to you.
Greetings, Mr Mayor.
May we have a motion to accept Councillor O'Donnell into the meeting? Thank you. Moved Councillor Della, seconded Councillor Viskovich. Any dissent, councillors? No dissent. We will pass that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nil. Thank you, Councillor O'Donnell. You are now part of the meeting. We note that. There is an apology, though, from Councillor Johnson. Tonight's vote will be out of 8 councillors. We have no apologies from any members of staff, no leave of absence previously approved, no response to public questions previously taken on notice. There's no public access or public question time this evening, no petitions, deputations or presentations. It takes us up to item 8, notations of interest. I have a couple this evening, councillors. Now, notations of interest, first of all, from Councillor Kirsty Della, the endorsement of lighting upgrade stage 2, Sir Richard Moore, Diggerdores Oval, Morrison Oval and Wallace Park, due to being a sponsor of affiliated clubs. That is for item 14.4.1 tonight, the lighting upgrade stage 2 on page 29. So that is an impartiality. Also an impartiality for tonight from myself for the same item, 14.4.1, as I'm a former chair of the Goldfields Football League. Councillors, is there any other impartialities? Councillor Viskovich?
Could I have a moment just to double check the lighting, Mr.
Sure,
Mayor?
you can have the lighting in here or the lighting piece?
On the item.
The
for
item, sure.
yeah,
No worries,
thanks.
you can have a moment. Councillor O'Donnell, do you wish to raise while Councillor Viskovich does that?
Mr. Mayor, I possibly have a clear interest. I'm on the Goldfields Football League Commission, and we have play sport at Diggerdores and Sir Richard Moore. Would that be needed to be declared or not?
I can't tell you, Councillor O'Donnell, if you need to declare or not. What I can...
I would declare.
You will declare? Do you wish to declare an impartiality?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Noted. Councillor O'Donnell also has an impartiality in item 14.4.1, the lighting upgrade stage 2, as he's part of the Goldfields Football League. Councillor Viskovich.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would also like to lodge impartiality as I am a sponsor of a few clubs that play on those grounds as well.
Thank you, Councillor Viskovich. Or you can, if you want us to update your paperwork. Thank you. I'll take that. Thank you, Councillor Viskovich. Just updating your interest in that is in item 14.4.1, the lighting upgrade, page 29. Impartiality is a sponsor of sporting groups. So that leaves also 4 of us with a impartiality on item 14.4.1. I have financial interests this evening also from Councillor Viskovich on the motion of which previous notice has been given on page 11. A financial interest on that item on page 12, a member of a party that would benefit from the motion. I also have a financial interest this evening from the Deputy Mayor, also on that particular item, motion which previous notice has been given in regards to the discount, page 11. It's a financial interest, significant involvement with a party that would benefit from this. Councillor Viskovich has also given me the update. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. And also a financial from the Deputy Mayor on item 7.1.1, the confidential item this evening. It is a financial as he is a chair of the GEDC. Councillors, are there any other financials this evening? No, thank you. We'll note those. I have a proximity interest tonight in item 14.5.1, the change of operating hours for a service station D101/25 Lot 2, number 7 Maritana Street, Piccadilly, due to Councillor Walker Dunstan living in the vicinity. Are there any other proximity? Anyone that lives close by? Anything on the items tonight? Thank you, councillors. I'll note that proximity interest. It's a tongue twister. Okay. Item 9, applications for leave of absence. I have 4 tonight, councillors, for you to consider. One is from Councillor Walker-Dunstan, requesting a leave of absence from the 17th of March to the 30th of March 2026. Sorry, Councillor Walker-Dunstan, I don't have the detail on your reason for that. My apologies. Would you like to just let us know, please?
I'll be out of the country.
Holiday. Thank you, Councillor Walker-Dunstan. I have one from Councillor Viskovich, also for a holiday without phone range from the 24th of the 1st to the 31st of the 1st, 2026. One from Councillor Della from the 26th of the 2nd to the 10th of the 3rd for leave. And one from myself as well from the 3rd of April to the 21st of April due to family commitments. Are there any other leave of absence tonight, councillors? Is there a mover to accept the leave of absence? Thank you, Deputy Mayor. A seconder? Any seconders, councillors? Thank you, Councillor Bodica. Councillor Bodica, noting that you're not going anywhere, thank you. Is there anyone against the leave of absence applications? No one against. I'll carry that 8-0. Councillors, 9.2, procedural motion to suspend section 9.1 of the Standing Orders Local Law for 2013, and that is requiring members of council to rise to speak be suspended. Councillors, would you wish to sit tonight? Councillor Della, very eager to sit. Seconder, Councillor Viskovich. Any dissent to that, councillors? No, thank you. Councillors, announcements by the person presiding without discussion should be on the screen. This is going back, that's November, December, that's the previous meeting. Do we have the updated list available? If not, I'm happy to share. I just need to take a moment to grab it. Councillors, happy to give it to you verbally if you wish. I can send it through to you as well. 15th of December, met with the Regional Manager for Goldfield Sport and Rec Regional Services from the Department of Creative Industries, Tourism and Sport. His name is Brad and he's in the role for the first time, so I met with him. 16th of December, met with representatives from the Australian Water Association, GEDC and Goldfield St Ives. It's a meeting for a Connected by Water panel, which I'll be attending on the 26th of February in Perth. On the 18th of December, as many of you joined us as well, we met with Rick Wilson, Senator Matt Canavan, the KBCCI board members as well, talking about broader mining cities initiatives and raising community matters such as social matters and power and water infrastructure and others. On the 19th of December, met with Ali Kent, MLA, and Kate Collins from Police to discuss the Summer Response for City program. Here we are, councillors, it's on the screen for you now. The 22nd of December, had an industry round table with the Leader of the Opposition who was in town for the day, Basil Zemplis, in regards to power, water, industrial land, cost of infrastructure for development and road and rail issues, and further a separate meeting with him on an update on city projects and a briefing as Opposition Leader. On the 6th of January, I spoke with Jill Campbell from Kaibo Station around rail tourism opportunities. Ms Campbell has an extensive collection of items from the Nullarbor and would like to display those in the city. The 8th of January, met with Senator Dean Smith the Senator has been very keen and very passionate about seeing where we go with possible tax concessions for mining areas and regional livability initiatives. I was joined with the Deputy Mayor on regards to that one to give him an update. We had the Local Emergency Management Committee meeting on the 13th of January. We got that meeting underway. Within 10 minutes there was an earthquake. So having all of the emergency response teams in the one space was quite an interesting place to be. At a meeting on the 14th of January with Northern Star in regards to the relocation of Boulder Camp, and I met with the CEO of the KBRC, something about emergency times, with the regular meeting and catch-up on the 15th of January. Councillors, also I believe that the DAP announcements have been made. Thank you, Deputy Mayor, for bringing that to my attention. So you should have received those via email today for those DAP members. Confirmation of minutes from the previous meeting held on the 15th of December, that they be confirmed as a true record of that meeting. Is there a mover for that? Councillor Walker-Dunstan, seconder. Deputy Mayor, thank you. Councillor Walker-Dunstan, any comment? No? Deputy Mayor, no comment. No dissent, councillors. Carried 8-0. Councillors, we had a special council meeting on the 2nd of January. The minutes of that were circulated with your agenda. May I have a mover of those minutes, please? Thank you, Councillor Bodica. Seconder. Councillor Walker-Dunstan. Councillor Bodica, you wish to speak? Anything to mention? No. Councillors, any dissent? No. Carried 8-0. Councillors, that takes us up to item 12, motions of which previous notice have been given. I have two councillors this evening who have declared a financial in this matter and will depart the room. That is the Deputy Mayor and Councillor Viskovich. I've also been informed in regards to this item tonight, we have an impartiality from our Director of Advocacy and Strategy in relation to this item, as her husband is doing works on a facility. That's an impartiality. Thank you, Director, noting that as well. Can we get that in writing, please, from a sheet, please, before we move on? Oh, the lighting item. Sorry, that's the lighting item, not this one. Sorry, my apologies. So please disregard that. Councillors, there's a motion there. I'd like to move the motion as per the notice of motion. Is there a seconder to the motion? Councillors, no seconder to the motion. Councillor Della. As there is a seconder indicated to the motion, it is my motion. I'll speak to the motion first, councillors. This particular piece for us to look at has been one that has been ongoing for council for some time. The notice of motion is to look at our schedule of fee and charges in relation to the Goldfields Arts Centre and to take effect, so backdating it from the 1st of July 2025. We have done work, our officers have done work, and council, we've heard from users of the Goldfields Arts Centre in regards to the valuation versus the ongoing viability of businesses if they were to pay at valuation rate. This particular motion gives an opportunity for local performing arts businesses a discount of 30% for using our facility. And while it is one that is obviously there for the activation of the Goldfields Arts Centre and to continue to have that Goldfields Arts Centre activated and to have people through it, I think it's a prime community facility for us to have. We also need to understand the implications of the realities of businesses at the same time. While this is one specific genre of business that is affected, and I appreciate that, we haven't been able to land, or we haven't been able to have a motion brought to the table in regards to something that is fair and equitable for all. And that is something that I've aimed to do with this particular motion, and I'm hoping that there is support for it this evening. I'll also note that those particular not-for-profit groups are also eligible for up to 80% discount on the city's schedule of fees and charges, which we've already adopted. The proposed 30% discount for local performing arts businesses acknowledges their contribution to the local community. While they are a money-making entity, they are not a not-for-profit. So there has been a gap that I've sought that we can fill and look at and try and do it in a positive way that helps local businesses who are in the performing arts sector, but also helps a facility at the same time. I'll encourage you to support the motion. Councillor Della, you are seconder to the motion.
Yes, thank you, Mr Mayor. I'll echo the sentiments. We have been hashing this around the table for quite some time, and I think this provides a balance between community expectations and progressing so that we get a result for this particular community space. Thank you.
As there is a speaker for, is there a speaker against? Councillor House. Just get you to turn your mic on, please, Councillor House. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry. I will speak against the item tonight, Mr Mayor, not due to your initiative that you're proposing, because I think that's a good initiative and others will benefit in the community from that. But from what I'm seeing here and the comments made tonight about the period of time that we've been dealing with this, Council's made a decision, it seems to me, on the 15th. So what I'm really confused about is what are we deciding if Council's decided on the in February to do X? Why hasn't that been executed? And what are we considering that's different from the February decision? Because I can't see where that's outlined, Mr Mayor. So that question, have I kind of framed that into a question?
No, you're in debate mode, so you're debating as to
I don't
why
actually
you're
have
not.
to ask
You have to debate it.
Okay, I meant to do that.
Thank you, Councillor House. Speaker for, speaker against, with no further debate indicated at this time, councillors. I will get the right of reply. Councillor House, understand that the concerns that you're raising there as well. It is something that has been obviously ongoing, and the feedback that we've had in regards to the landmarking that we've done against other centres, it just hasn't quite stacked up. But look, we're after a result to activate the centre and also to support people at the same time. So as there's been dissent indicated, I will call for a vote. Those in favour, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Councillor O'Donnell.
I'm in favour.
Thank you, Councillor O'Donnell. So just for clarification purposes, Councillor Della, Councillor Bodica, Mayor Wilson, Councillor Walker-Dunstan, Councillor O'Donnell in favour. Those against? Councillor House. As an absolute majority is required, the vote is required to be 5 or above. The motion is carried. 5-1. Thank you, councillors. May we please have Councillor Viskovich and the Deputy Mayor back. Councillors, item 13, urgent business approved by the person presiding or by decision. We had a late item that came to Council's attention today. With my approval, I have sought that be included into tonight's agenda. However, with further information that has come to light since councillors were informed of the details of that particular item, it has been pulled by officers. Councillors will be receiving a briefing on that following tonight's ordinary council meeting, so you won't be considering a late item tonight, councillors. Item 14, to look at it, our reports of officers. We don't have an en bloc motion here tonight, councillors, so I will take any indication of any item that anybody wishes to pull tonight. I'll note the following. 14.4.1, the endorsement for lighting upgrade does have impartialities tonight, so that won't be part of an en bloc. 14.4.2 requires an absolute majority, which is the inlet works renewal at the South Boulder Wastewater Treatment Plant. We have a proximity, you know the one, councillors. Thank you. 14.5.1 of the change of operating hours service station. We also, and that is it. So if there is any other item that council wish to pull, please let me know. I'll repeat that for you. The following will be pulled, so I'll let you know what's not being included in the en bloc. That is item 14.4.1, the endorsement of the lighting upgrade stage 2. Item 14.4.2, the inlet works renewal at South Boulder wastewater treatment. And 14.5.1, the change of operating hours at the service station on Maritana Street. And also note, Councillor Bodica has left the room for minute-taking purposes. Is there anything else councillors wish to pull? Okay. Just to clarify for you, Councillor House, so this will be your en bloc. The inlet is out of the block, but the inlet is into the facility. Anything else, councillors, to pull? No? Okay, so tonight's en bloc, councillors, is item 14.2.1, the resolution register. Item 14.2.2, corporate performance reporting. Item 14.3.1, the purchasing policy. Item 14.3.2, the statement of financial activity for November 2025. Item 14.3.3, accounts payable report December 2025. Item 14.5.2, the non-conforming use of the proposed outbuilding addition on Boulder Road. And item 14.5.3, the 2026 Australia Day nominations. Is there a mover for that en bloc this evening? Thank you, Councillor Della. Sorry, Councillor House, just turn your microphone on so you can follow along.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor. The procurement policy, is that in the en bloc or out of the en bloc?
At this point in time, it's in the en bloc.
Can we take that one?
Pull it out? Of course.
Please. And also the resolution register, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Councillors, you're en bloc. 14.2.2, corporate performance reporting. 14.3.2, statement of financial activity. 14.3.3, accounts payable report December 2025. 14.5.2, non-conforming use on Boulder Road, proposed outbuilding addition. And 14.5.3, the Australia Day nominations. That is the en bloc now. Councillor Della, you wish to move that. You're still happy with that. Seconder, Councillor Walker-Dunstan. No dissent. That's carried 7-0. Noting that Councillor Bodica has left the room and has not participated in that vote. Which takes us to 14.2.1, the resolution register. Officer recommendation is there. Is there a mover of the officer recommendation? Thank you, Councillor Viskovich. Seconder? Councillor Della. Councillor Viskovich, you wish to speak? No. Councillor Della, you wish to speak? Any councillors wish to speak? Councillor House, go ahead. Speaking against or for? Speaking against? No worries. Please turn your mic on.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The reason that I'm speaking against the item tonight is my request to have 18 items which were identified as being outstanding in the resolutions register, to have that presented to council for an update, a status update, so that we were across where we were with those particular projects. For me, that hasn't occurred, and that's an administrative function that can be considered outside of this forum, but I would like an amendment to the resolution that requires maybe clearer what I'm asking for, and just to give you clarity as to why I'm asking for this.
Sure. Sorry, just before you debate that, can I ask if there is, so can you state an amendment to the motion, please?
Okay.
And would you like to move an amendment?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll consider your amendment. Go ahead.
The amendment, Mr. Mayor, would be to bring to the council, for the CEO to bring to the council the 18 items identified as outstanding, and to to update the elected members on the status of each item.
Sure, I'm going to get this probably worked through Councillor House, if that's okay, just so we're clear on the amendment that's being put. Beg your pardon? Okay. Let me try and help you, just with some recall, Councillor House. You would like to move an amended motion, if we can have the screen up, please, or at least if the note takers are prepared. Amended motion. I think there's an easy way to do this, Councillor House, and that is for the status update to be brought to Council's next concept forum on the 2nd of February. That, if that would provide a forum for you to seek some further details. Let me just confirm that on the screen so you're happy with that before we put the amendment for a seconder. Just so we're clear on what we're voting on. Can we just adjust that start of that amended motion to that update to request the CEO to list the item for the next concept forum? You can delete the other, yep. Councillor House, does that suffice to what your intent was? Which means that the CEO will list it as an item for council to discuss at the next concept forum on the 2nd of February. Yep. So just grab your microphone, please.
So we have the wording 18 and outstanding, just so we don't have any misinterpretation.
Sure. It's all covered in the attachment, but to list the item for the next, including the 18 items, including the outstanding items, including the outstanding items. We say outstanding, including. Thank you. Right. Councillor House, you happy with that as your motion, your amended motion? Is there a seconder to the amended motion? Deputy Mayor, thank you. Councillor House, you can debate your amended motion.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, I think, I'll take that. The intent of my resolution here is to really highlight that it's important that we celebrate success as an organisation, but it's also important that we identify where we're not doing so well. And if we're not succeeding or living up to what we've said we're going to do, it's important also that everybody's on the same page with these particular items. I think this is a good opportunity to go through those 18 items, get a clear understanding, and I'll be confident to be able to answer those questions when the punters ask me. I'm able to give them, at least an accurate answer, because I do feel, what's the word I'm looking for? Inadequate, maybe not the right word. Inadequate when I'm getting asked questions and I'm not able to give them a status update or knowledge of the project. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor House. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I second this item tonight to allow for debate on this item and to gain a better understanding of what the amended motion was seeking. And I thank Councillor House for his explanation. I look forward to further debate. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Speaker against the amendment, Councillor Viskovich.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to speak against this amended motion only because I believe we have other quite important items that we need to be bringing to the concept forum. So even if we don't say the next concept forum, but a concept forum in the future. I also think we need more further clarification on what the 18 items are.
Thank you, Councillor Viskovich. Speaker for. Speaker against. Councillor Della.
Thank you. I would also like to speak against this motion, just based on the fact that there is a detailed report attached with plenty of detailed information in it. So I believe the details are there. We're accepting the report as noted, and I feel that there's substantial information in that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Della. Speaker for. Speaker against. The mover has the right of reply. Councillor House.
I'm a little bit surprised to have a motion alternative to wanting greater clarity of information. It's so important. Our jobs are fundamentally based on information we receive, the advice we receive, being accurate, as accurate as it possibly can be. And that's important not just for us legally, but for the people investing in us, the ratepayers, that they get an answer, and that I, as a councillor, and I'm not going to speak on behalf of any other councillor, but when I say I feel, what word did I use before? Inadequate. That's a real understatement, because I feel like I'm an RBA board member, and I'm making decisions about interest rates. If I'm going to make an interest rate increase, got to justify it. Decrease, well, I'll justify that too to the punters, to the banks. But we've got to have the answers. We can't not want to know the answers because it's not a good answer. We need to know them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor House. As there is an amended motion being put, those in favour of the amended motion, and there's also, dissent recorded as well. Those in favour of the amended motion, please raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Councillor O'Donnell, are you voting for or against?
Yeah, I'll vote for.
Thank you. The amended motion is carried. 6-2. Item 14.3.1, the purchasing policy. Council, we have a officer recommendation here. Councillor House, you wish to move the officer recommendation? Councillor House, just turn your microphone on for us, please. Go ahead. What's your clarification?
You just look like you were restraining.
Just trying to think.
You're thinking, what are you going to ask me? What's he going to do this time? Look, 5 meetings in a row, we've considered policies. None in our concept forums and the information forums that you're encouraging us to use to have open debate about.
Councillor House, what's your question?
My question is, I think it's quite obvious, my question is, why is the procurement policy a significant council document or council policy? Why is it being presented to the meeting without it first going through the concept forum or the strategic forum, so that we're having some open debate about these things, about these policies that ultimately inform our decision making?
Thank you, Councillor House. You can move an amendment to not accept it tonight and to send it back to the review with the rest of the policies if you wish. There is no mover of any amendment or any motion at the moment, so the officer recommendation is as put. Is there a mover of the officer recommendation? Thank you, Councillor Bodica. Seconder, Councillor Viskovich. Councillor Bodica. No, don't wish to speak. Councillor Viskovich.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I believe that the team have spent quite a significant amount of time and effort to increase and ensure that we are further covered with the policy that's been presented to us. The fact that we've got a tracked version, the old version, and now the clean current version has made it very clear on what has been changed and where it's been updated. And I think it's important to see those changes, and I hope that the rest of the council can pass this motion tonight.
Thank you, Councillor Viskovich. Speaker against? Councillor House, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I might seem like I'm vexatious. I would say I'd probably be thrown out of the court by about now. But what is important that I do emphasise or clarify, beg my pardon, is my opposition to this isn't the policy, the intent of the policy, the outcomes of the policy. My opposition is to the process. And if the process that we're going to abide by as council members, elected members, is that we accept policies presented to us by officers without engaging first, our jobs are redundant. We hand all of our responsibilities to the officers to design policy on our behalf. Now, are they capable of doing that? Sure. But are the people elected around that table having the discussions and going, have you thought about this? Have you spoken to this person here? And a great example, couldn't I think of a better example, is this new policy has a fantastic initiative around social...
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, point of order.
Point of order, Councillor Viskovich. I'll consider your point of order.
9.4 relevance. We are discussing a policy, not the way the policy has been put forward or created.
Excuse me, policy doesn't get...
Councillor House, thank you, Councillor House. I've got a point of order here. That is not a point of order at this point, Councillor Viskovich. Thank you. Councillor House, please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My point where I was cut off was we've reached... So this policy has awesome social enterprise initiative where it's incentivising and it's really rallying those social groups to be more involved in council projects. That's a great initiative. That it should have involved councillors being out there and being the champion for your policy. If you think these things are good and council believes they are good, we'll go out there and we'll fight for them as well. But if these policies are coming up to us and we actually don't even know what's in them or what they're designed to do, how are we supposed to own them? Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor House. Can we also note the point of order that was in there as well in the minutes? In regards to speakers, we're speaking for the motion. Any speakers for? Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councillors, the intent, outcome and principle of the policy is correct, in my opinion, and without any suggestions of changes being proposed by any councillor tonight. A debate on process is not being asked tonight to be considered, and as such, it should not be considered in relation to this item, in my opinion. In relation to the policy, I have no objection to what is being proposed within the officer's recommendation, and as such, will be in support of this tonight. And I encourage my fellow councillors to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Speaker against? Speaker for? Councillor Della, you wish to speak for?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I suppose I would just like to highlight as well in speaking for this motion that this is not the first time that we've seen this purchasing policy. We've had last week the opportunity to ask questions at our agenda briefing, and we've also had the opportunity to provide feedback prior to last week's meeting and this week's meeting. So I feel that by not approving such a policy tonight will leave staff in limbo as to how to proceed other than reverting back to the old one. And I see that this one provides better clarity for staff moving forward.
Thank you, Councillor Della. Speaker against? Councillor House, you can't speak against, you've already spoken. Speaker for? The mover has the right of reply. The mover was Councillor Bodica.
Thank you. Look, I feel confident in moving this motion and have faith in the staff who have put this together. As Councillor Della has stated, you know, this isn't the first time that we've seen this purchasing policy come through. And, you know, we have to have faith in the system, faith in our staff, and I urge other councillors to please support this as well. So it's a good policy. and I can't see any issues as to why we have to put it back on the table. We send it back. I think it should be approved tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bodica. The motion was moved to the officer recommendation by Councillor Bodica and seconded by Councillor Viskovich. There was dissent recorded for the item. Those in favour, please raise your hand. Councillor O'Donnell, do you wish to vote for or against?
Yes, it's for, Mr Mayor.
Those against? The vote is carried 7-1. Councillors, the next item on the agenda for us to consider is item 14.4.1, the endorsement of lighting upgrade stage 2, Sir Richard Moore, Digger Dawes Oval, Morrison Oval, Wallace Park. We have impartialities from Councillor Kirsty Della. I'll just read, just for purposes of those who may have just tuned in. The lighting upgrade for Councillor Della is due to being a sponsor of many of the sporting clubs. Councillor Viskovich has also indicated impartiality as a sponsor of the sporting groups. And also myself, Mayor Wilson, as a former chair of the Goldfields Football League, as impartiality. I believe we've got an officer impartiality tonight as well. Can I have that in writing, please, if that's okay? You've got it via email, thank you. So considering from Director Mia Hicks, a impartiality on this item, lighting upgrade stage 2. What is the impartiality, please, Acting CEO?
PMH Electrical is providing Clubhouse Works as a sponsor.
Thank you. The Clubhouse Works not associated with this actual particular project. Thank you. The officer recommendation is there. Councillors, is there a mover of the officer recommendation? Councillor Viskovich, seconder. Councillor Walker-Dunstan. Councillor Viskovich, you wish to speak?
Point of clarification, if I may, Mr Mayor.
Go ahead first, please. Yep.
Should we go ahead with this motion, is there an opportunity to increase or to look into an increase of lux at one field to potentially attract bigger game events?
I'll take your question. I'll divert to the acting CEO and the opportunity for the Director of Engineering to answer the question, if he can.
Thank you, and for yourself, Mr Mayor. Currently, the way the designs have been completed, and this is ready to go out to tender, should we look at doing a redesign and upgrading one of the fields, then it would need to be redesigned, rescoped, and then it may throw out the tender in regards to delivery timetable.
Councillor Viskovich.
Supplementary, so that's not necessarily a no.
Director of Engineering.
Through yourself again, Mr Mayor. No, not necessarily a no. It would just throw out the timetable. May I have a question of the councillor?
Unfortunately, you can't, Director. I appreciate that.
Okay. So just to update council, so the Lux level meet the requirements of WAFL night games.
Thank you, Director, for that information. Councillor House, do you have a question? Yep, go ahead.
Mayor, thank you. We're being asked to endorse the lighting plan. Just querying why are we being asked to endorse the lighting plan? Because, I mean, from me, that's quite technical. My presumption is more aligned to Councillor Carla, is we're participating at the front end, that strategic element, so we're able to identify those sporting fields that should be designed to that standard, so the officers are following our instructions and not their own desires.
I'm unsure I understand your question, Councillor House.
The question is, why didn't we endorse a strategic plan, a strategy, and why are we endorsing the final product?
We've already endorsed the plan. Council have already endorsed that prior to tonight.
Yep. So what we're endorsing is the details. So we're talking about the lux, we're talking about the finite detail that a contractor needs to understand for pricing, where we need to be participating and strongly driving that system is we're identifying, because we're the mums and the dads out at the soccer fields, at the football games, and we know personally what lights work and what lights don't.
Councillor,
So
you're heading into debate. The point
it was
here...
not a debate. It's
Councillor House, point of
Yeah.
order. Point of order is that the person presiding is speaking. And that is that you are considering tonight the item that is before you in regards to the lighting upgrade stage 2 for Sir Richard Moore, Diggerdores Oval, Morrison Oval and Wallace Park. Council have previously endorsed this and have done that in 2024 when Council was briefed on the lighting audit that was undertaken by the Parks, Sports, Fields and reserve lighting that was done by the City. At that point, Council endorsed one grant application in regards to that, and Council have previously endorsed stage 1 of this project, which was regarding Usher Park and the Oasis Fields. The point is, Council have already had the information on this. Council have already endorsed the plan. We're now moving to stage 2, which we're seeking the endorsement for, or the officers are seeking endorsement for tonight.
point of clarification. Did you just say we've already endorsed it?
Council have endorsed already
Yes.
the plan.
So okay, it seems like a
Full
duplication,
plan.
Mr. Mayor.
No, this is actually split down into stage 2 that we're endorsing now. Council have already endorsed the full plan for our lighting of our fields, in particular priority of those fields, and now this is part of stage 2 of that plan that we're endorsing now to go out to tender.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I can tell by your tone that you're not happy with my line of questioning, but I'm generating my questioning from the conversation that is on the table, on the floor, where a council member has said, well, I've got an idea that I think strategically would work. And my point here is that conversation could have been had at the start of the process. And sure, Councillor Cullen may not have had that particular idea at the start of the process. But my entire point isn't criticising what's happened. My point is saying that we need to be more strategic and not endorsing operational plans, operational matters. I don't need to approve luxes. That's what we have the officers for.
Thank you, Councillor House. I'll end my rhetoric. The mover was Councillor Viskovich, who has not started debate. So, Councillor Viskovich, thank you, Director.
This is just speaking on the motion because I moved it.
Speaking on the motion because you moved it.
Perfect, thanks. Just wanted to clarify that, I believe we all know that how important the lighting is around our town, especially for our sporting complexes. I would love to see the further information or opportunity of further lux at the one ground, but to get this started and this process commenced and completed ASAP, I hope everyone else goes forward with this motion.
Thank you, Councillor Viskovich. Seconder to the motion was Councillor Walker-Dunstan. Councillor Walker-Dunstan, you wish to speak? No. Speaker against? Speaker for? Councillor Della.
May I just ask a question of the engineer, Mr. Mayor?
Sure, Councillor Della.
Thank you. Through to the Director of Engineering, when consultation was sought with the clubs, what level of lighting, I suppose, participation, what level of football or sport was put forward that they would require the lighting to be suitable for?
Director, via the Acting CEO.
So the full lighting plan was governed on what sports are being played on what fields and what potential sports could be played on those fields. The football fields or the Sir Richard Moore, Morrison Oval and Boulder Oval were only governed as football fields, so they didn't take in small ball sports into those. And they were done to a level that would allow WAFL night games, which is 250 lux.
Councillor Della, supplementary.
Thank you. And is that something that the clubs have indicated that is suitable for their requirements moving into the future?
That more than meets all their current requirements moving into the future.
Thank you, Councillor Della. Are you speaking for? Speaker against? Did you speak for? Sorry, that was a question. Sorry, my apologies, Councillor Della. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Della, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you to the Director of Engineering. That has really cleared up any doubt that I had in my mind. I believe the consultation has been done with clubs and we're moving into the future. We're listening to what the community want and what our sporting organisations require in the future, not only today, because it is really important that we get this right. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Della. Speaker against? Speaker for? Councillor Boudica.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Look, I'd like to see this supported too because, you know, we'd already done an audit report that had showed that there was quite a few issues with corroded light poles, non-compliant cabling, stuff like that. And, you know, so we have to upgrade our ovals so that we're going to be providing our community with good services and good amenities. And, you know, I think that this is a great outcome and I'd really like to support it.
Thank you, Councillor Boudica. Speaker against? Before the mover has the right of reply, this has been a project, as I've indicated with my impartiality, since I was chair of the Goldfields Football League, and that was back to 2019. There was a lot of work done in regards to bringing lights up to speed in terms of lux. The lux at Boulder Oval is quite sparingly. At certain areas of Boulder Oval, it's extremely high, i.e. underneath the light poles, but in the middle of the ground where we need it the most, it's very low. So this project, and with the 4 poles that were mentioned last week as to why we're looking at 4 poles, it's a common piece now for all major sporting grounds, that the way that which the design works. In particular, you'll see, I think there were some examples of that, might be Leaderville Oval or Mineral Resources Park where the Eagles train. They only have 4 poles now and they're set at where the 50 intersect to provide a better clarity of light. There's been a lot of work that's been done in lights and light poles since they've all gone in. This is for the safety not only of those who are playing the game, but also those who are spectating who want to see where the ball's going. And it's a project that, as we mentioned, 1999, I think the lights at Sir Richard Moore were installed, so we're now up to 2026 and we're progressing if there is support for this motion tonight. Councillor Viskovich, you have the right of reply. Not taken. No dissent has been indicated to this particular item, councillors. No one of dissent. I will take that motion has carried with unanimous support, 8-0. Item 14.4.2, Inlet Works Renewal at the South Boulder Wastewater Treatment Plant. Councillors, this is an item that we were briefed on last week. The absolute majority is required on this vote, and the officer recommendation is as put. Is there a mover of the officer recommendation? Is there a mover of the... Thank you, Councillor Viskovich. Seconder? Councillor Della. Councillor Viskovich, you wish to speak? No? Councillor Della, you wish to speak? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity to speak on this matter. The South Boulder Wastewater Treatment Plant is a necessity for our entire community, and these improvements are going to allow for suitable effluent processing. So I would ask that my fellow councillors support this motion and that this will allow us to mitigate any risk moving forward regarding the South Boulder Wastewater Treatment Plant. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Della. Is there a speaker against? Councillor House, you wish to speak against?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't wish to speak against the solution to the odour problem. I don't wish to speak to that at all. What I would like to speak to is, again, information, clear understanding, a strategic pathway. And I feel like I've asked these questions of the officers and I haven't been given those answers. In particular, I haven't been given answers regarding the regulators' support for these infrastructure works, and I'm a little bit concerned regarding the licensing as well, beyond the notice. Now, that's not part of my remit, but it is part of my remit to ask those questions. I haven't been given those answers. What I'm concerned about, if If I'm asking these questions because there's no information there, I'm interested to know where are councillors obtaining this information from, and how are we making a decision on these things? And as a primary example, we have a variation of $1.8 million. And anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, but if that variation is $1.8 million and it was an open variation where, this is my understanding because I can't see any other information, there's a huge concern there. And yes, we need to do the works. Yes, we need to progress. Yes, we need to not stand on the hose. But if doing it incorrectly does more than standing on the hose, well then I think making the decision just because we had to make the decision is remiss, and we need to understand that we're making the right decision and it's not going to create a worse effect than what it is now. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor House. Speaker for? Speaker against? Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, a $1.8 million variation on top of an already budgeted $1.9 million cost is, to put really simply, staggering. I acknowledge the importance of the work that needs to be done and the incredibly challenging position the late notification has placed both officers and councillors in, but I have to make it very clear that I am very concerned that we just keep taking the funding allocated for critical works for the processing or idea plan equivalent requirements, and that we may be creating a future funding problem for ourselves after taking almost just over $2 million out of the account last month for other related works. If this is approved, we will have exhausted this reserve without actually delivering what the reserve was set up to achieve. I'm under no illusion as to how critical the inlet works is to the long-term service reliability of the city wastewater services, and my concern sits entirely with the city potentially no longer having the funds in reserve to do what we need and what we are required to do moving forward, and address the significant issue in which the fund was set up to actually address. Without further investigation of where else funding could come from and the possible impacts of moving funds from another area could have on other areas of the organisation, I'm not in a position tonight to offer an alternative funding source. I note that the work has mostly been completed and needs to be paid, and will not be a blocker to this tonight, and as the work is critical and needs to be done. However, if this item is successful tonight, I'll be pushing to see during the midterm budget review that this provision is replenished to allow the city to commence or complete all required works that needs to be completed. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Speaker for? Speaker against? Before the mover has the right of reply, I'll support the officer recommendation. However, there are concerns, obviously, as raised in regards to funding and the proposed pathways moving forward. My key critical piece from this is after we've had the on-site tours and the September briefing in regards to this particular item, I see the crucial need for the inlet to go in and to have a much better operation to our facility, and also at the same time to provide a better outcome for our community. It's absolutely essential. I understand the comments around the funds available and how they've been presented to us. I have some critical concerns about that, but at the same time, for the benefit of our community and for the benefit of the infrastructure that is required as to what we are required to do, I'm supporting the motion. Councillor Viskovich, you have the right of reply.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Honestly, I moved this motion to ensure it made it to the table. I appreciate everyone's words around the table. My concern is our EPN is a huge concern, and I believe that we need to have this item completed to ensure that we keep moving on ticking the items off the EPN. I believe the information in the wastewater discharge management plan has been educational. However, I do believe there's a few finer details that we could have included. I also believe we need to ensure our mid-budget review is brought back in line to those critical items that we need to address as a priority and have some major projects completed as soon as we can. Thank you for everyone's advice.
Thank you, Councillor Viskovich. As there has been dissent recorded to the motion, those in favour of the officer recommendation as put by Councillor Viskovich and seconded by Councillor Della, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Councillor O'Donnell, are you voting for or against?
For, Mr. Mayor.
5. Thank you. Those against? Councillor Bodica, Councillor Walker-Dunstan and Councillor House. As an absolute majority is required, an absolute majority has been met. 5-3. Item 14.5.1 is the change of operating hours, Service Station D10125-Lot 2, Number 7 Maritana Street, Piccadilly. Councillor Walker-Dunstan has declared a proximity. Thank you. I feel like I'm not getting it right. I apologise, and you will need to depart the room. It's one I'm going to be practising in front of the mirror now, proximity. Councillor Walker-Dunstan has left the building, not the building, actually the room. Oh boy. I didn't have my usual coffee before tonight's meeting. Can you tell? Is there a mover of the officer recommendation? Thank you, Councillor Bodica. Seconder, Councillor House. You wish to speak, Councillor Bodica? Councillor House, you wish to speak? No? No debate, councillors? No speakers for or against? With that, I will move that the item is accepted 7-0. Can we have Councillor Walker-Dunstan back in the room, please? Councillors, that is our agenda for this evening. There were no questions of which due notice have been given. We did have a late confidential item, but that's been pulled, so we're not talking to that this evening. The date of the next ordinary council meeting will be the 16th of February 2026 here at the Kalgoorlie Town Hall, and I'll close tonight's meeting at 7:06 p.m. Thank you for your attendance, and we appreciate you also joining us for tonight's annual electors meeting as well. Thank you.